It happens twice a year, where we spring forward or fall back an hour for daylight savings time. Losing an hour of sleep is what most people hate about the shift, but the extra sunlight is often a blessing for those who hate leaving work in the dark. Though it was proposed as a way to conserve energy in daylight, when we look closer at the effects it has on the body, the question arises, is it worth it? We spoke with two sleep researchers about the effects daylight savings time has on our bodies and minds.
For millennia, as we have evolved as a species, we've taken our cues from sunlight. Circadian rhythm is your internal clock, which is actually very closely connected to what we call the photoperiod or the sun clock.
Basically, almost every organism that's ever been studied on the planet Earth has a circadian rhythm, and these are near 24-hour clocks. In people, this is a super critical kind of thing to help organize kind of daily rhythms as well as to anticipate events. One of the things that the body anticipates is waking up in the morning. And in order to wake up in the morning, one of the things it does is that it increases cortisol in anticipation of waking. This increase in cortisol allows for a increased, basically available energy, which enables you to kind of prep your cardiovascular system for standing up.
So instead of waking up at, for example, 7 o'clock, which is your usual time, you'll wake up at 6 o'clock. Because that's what we do when we move from standard time to daylight savings time, is we move the clock forward. So you have to wake up early in reference to the sun clock. You basically go out of sync. There are acute effects of this social jet lag, and then there are these chronic effects. Acute situation, so when this actually happens for the next few days, you're more prone to having motor vehicle accidents. You're more prone to having accidents at work. There is now several studies demonstrating that there is increased risk of heart attack. There is increased risk of this abnormal rhythm of the heart called atrial fibrillation, which predisposes people to stroke. There is at least one study that I'm aware of that actually demonstrated that the risk of stroke actually goes up. There is increased visits to the ER, there is increased missed medical appointments, and the list goes on, right? I mean, so a lot of bad things happen in the first few days after you switch.
The problem, the big con in this shift is that you're having everybody do it at the same time, and when everyone does it on the same day, again, even if it's a very rare event, you have, in the US alone, you have 350 million people doing it on the same day. It is just easier to see when you have the very large population doing it.
And then there are the chronic effects, right? So, some people say, oh, it's fine because in a few days you adjust. But what we found in recent literature is that maybe we don't adjust completely, at least not completely. And so social jet lag has been associated with obesity, has been associated with metabolic syndrome, which is a fancy doctor way of saying that you have obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart disease.
From a strictly biomedical point of view, I'd say get rid of it. There's really, there are enough negatives to it that you should really not have it.
You should try and make sure the week before the transition that you get enough sleep. And then once the transition happens, especially for those things that require extra vigilance, that you do be more careful, like driving a car, operating machinery, and things.
You can kind of prep a little with having, a little extra light exposure. You're getting up, earlier than anticipated. You can, especially if you're older, you can give yourself a little extra time in getting out of bed in the morning. That kind of will help reduce the cardiac burden.
For the last 10, 15, 20 years, there's just abundant evidence that sleep affects a lot of different things like, heart disease and metabolic syndrome and mood disorders and other things. And so healthy sleep is very, very important.